She asked me to sleep in the living room because she needed space to process our relationship. I found out she was video calling her ex every night before bed. When confronted, she said, "He helps me sleep. You just stress me out." I didn't argue. Just packed her bags, dropped them at his door, and changed the locks. 3 days later, she was sleeping in her car, begging me to let her back in. Hey, viewers. Real quick. Only 8% of you watching are subscribed, and the channel's kind of stuck right now. If you enjoy these stories, hitting that subscribe button would really help us keep going. Thanks. I'm 38 male Jake, and this happened 5 days ago, but I'm still processing the sheer audacity. Been with Monica 29F for 2 years. She moved into my house about 8 months ago after her lease ended. Never got around to adding her to anything official, just verbal agreement she'd help with utilities and groceries. She works part-time at some boutique downtown making maybe $15 an hour. Last Tuesday night, I come home from a long day at the construction site, and Monica's waiting in the living room with this serious expression. "Jake, we need to talk." Already knew this wasn't going anywhere. Good. I've been thinking about us and I need some space to process our relationship just for a week or two. Can you sleep in the living room so I can have the bedroom to myself? I stared at her. You want me to sleep on my own couch in my own house so you can process our relationship? It's not like that. I just need mental space. The bedroom feels like our space and I need it to be just mine for a while so I can think clearly. Red flags everywhere, but I figured whatever. Pick your battles. Not worth the drama. Grabbed my pillow and went to the couch. That was Tuesday. Wednesday night around 11 p.m. I'm lying there scrolling my phone when I hear Monica talking in the bedroom. Figured she was on the phone with her sister or something. Thursday night, same thing. Soft talking around 11 p.m. that goes on for like an hour. Friday night, I decided to check what was going on. Walked quietly to the bedroom door, which was cracked open just enough to hear clearly. I stayed in the hallway and just listened. "Good night, baby. I love you too. Sweet dreams, baby. Love you too." My stomach dropped. I went back to the couch without saying anything. Saturday morning, Monica left for work at the boutique. Soon as her car was gone, I went into action. Packed every single thing that belonged to her. Clothes, shoes, makeup, that ridiculous collection of bath bombs she never used. Everything. Took me about 2 hours and filled up 6 large garbage bags and 3 boxes. Monica had mentioned Ryan, her ex, a few times early on, said they stayed friends. She'd showed me his apartment complex once when we drove past it months ago, said he lived there. Took me 20 minutes to find the right building, and I remembered it was a corner unit on the 2nd floor. Loaded it all into my truck and drove over there. Left everything outside what I was pretty sure was his door with a note. "Monica needs space to process. She's all yours now." Jake drove home and called a locksmith. Had to pay extra for weekend service, but got new locks installed by 4 p.m. Cost me $320 total, but worth every penny. Monica got home around 6 p.m. I watched through the window as she tried her teeth 3 times before pounding on the door. "Jake, what's going on? My tea doesn't work." I opened the door but kept the chain on. "Your stuff is at Ryan's place." "What? What do you mean at Ryan's place? You said you needed space to process our relationship with him. I gave you permanent space." "Jake, this is insane. You can't just kick me out. My house, my name on everything. You're not on any lease or bills. You can figure out your own housing. But where am I supposed to sleep? Maybe Ryan can help you with that too. Seems like he helps you with everything else." She started crying then. Real tears or performance, who knows? "Jake, please. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have been talking to Ryan like that. We can work this out. We already worked it out. You get the space you wanted. I didn't mean permanently. I just needed a few days. You needed space to tell your ex you love him every night. I gave you the freedom to do that without me getting in the way. Close the door." She pounded on it for another 10 minutes then left. That was Saturday. It's Tuesday now and the circus continues. Update 1, 10 days later. Thanks for all the comments. Good to know I wasn't overreacting. So Monica left Saturday night and I figured that was it. Should have known better. Sunday morning, my phone starts blowing up. Different numbers because I blocked her main one after the call. Jake, I'm sleeping in my car. Please let me come home. This is ridiculous. I have nowhere to go. Ryan says he can't help me. His lease doesn't allow long-term guests. Interesting. Romeo wasn't as eager to play house when it meant actual consequences. Sunday afternoon, her mom Carol calls me, lives about 90 minutes away. Jake, what is this about you throwing Monica out? She called me crying saying she's sleeping in her car. Carol, Monica asked me to sleep on my couch so she could have private conversations with her ex-boyfriend in my bedroom. I decided she could have all the privacy she wants. That doesn't sound like Monica. Are you sure you're not misunderstanding something? I heard her tell him she loved him Friday night. Ask your daughter about her bedtime calls with Ryan. Long pause. I'll talk to her. Carol hung up. Monday morning, Monica shows up at my job site. Caused a scene in front of my crew until my foreman told her to leave, or he'd call site security. Monday evening, she was back at my door with Carol. Jake, Carol said, Monica told me about the phone calls. She says it wasn't what it sounded like. I looked at Monica. What did it sound like when you told Ryan you loved him? I meant it as a friend. People say that to friends after you kicked me out of my own bedroom so you could have private space to talk to him. Carol's expression changed. You made Jake sleep on the couch. Mom, it's not that simple. I needed space to think, and the bedroom felt overwhelming with both of us there. In his house, Carol said flatly, well, yes, but Monica, get in the car. They left without another word. Tuesday, Monica tried a different approach. Had some girl I'd never met knock on my door. Hi. I'm Stephanie, Monica's friend from work. She asked me to talk to you. About what? She's really struggling. Sleeping in her car, can barely afford gas to get to work. She made a mistake, but she's learned her lesson. Her mistake was trying to replace me while living in my house. The lesson is don't bite the hand that feeds you. She says you two were having problems anyway. We weren't having problems until she decided that my bedroom was her private phone booth for talking to her ex. Stephanie looked confused. She said you were controlling and wouldn't give her space. I gave her space. Permanent space. Mission accomplished. Close the door on that conversation too. Update 2. 1 month later. Been about 5 weeks since Monica's space request. Time for an update since people keep asking. The car camping lasted exactly 1 week. Turns out October nights get cold, and her 2015 Honda Civic isn't exactly luxury accommodations. Carol drove up the following weekend and collected Monica. Found this out because Monica tried one last desperate move that Friday. She showed up at my door around 10 p.m. looking rough, unwashed hair, same clothes from the day before, clearly hadn't been showering regularly. Jake, please. I can't do this anymore. I'm cold. I'm tired. I made a huge mistake. Just let me come home. This isn't your home anymore. Where am I supposed to go? I can't afford my own place on what the boutique pays. Should have thought about that before you started shopping for my replacement. I wasn't shopping for your replacement. Ryan and I are just friends. Friends who tell each other, I love you every night while kicking their actual boyfriend out to the couch. That's not what happened. That's exactly what happened. You asked for space to process our relationship. You processed it. We're done. She tried pushing past me to get inside. I stepped in front of her. Monica, if you don't leave, I'm calling the police for trespassing. That got her attention. She left. Saturday morning, Carol showed up alone. Jake, I owe you an apology. I got the whole story from Monica. What she did was completely inappropriate. Appreciate that, Carol. She's moving back home with me until she can figure things out. I wanted to ask if there were any belongings she missed. Everything's at Ryan's place. Whatever he did with it is between them. Fair enough. For what it's worth, I raised her better than this. Not your fault. Adults make their own choices. Carol left and I haven't seen or heard from Monica since. Through a guy at work whose girlfriend knows someone who works at the boutique, heard Monica quit after 2 weeks of calling out and showing up late. Apparently, living in her car and then moving back with mom an hour and a half away made getting to work difficult. Also, heard Ryan moved out of his apartment suddenly, probably got tired of Monica's belongings cluttering up his doorway and her showing up asking for help. Final update, 3 months later. Final chapter time. It's been about 14 weeks since Monica asked me to sleep on my own couch, so she could have heart-to-heart talks with her ex. Life's been good. Really good actually. The house feels like mine again. Quiet when I want quiet, organized how I like it. No drama waiting for me when I get home from work. Started seeing someone new about a month ago. Met Jennifer at a hardware store of all places. She was buying supplies to fix her own garbage disposal. Woman owns her own house, has her own career in accounting, doesn't need anyone to process anything for her. We take turns staying at each other's places. When she's at mine, she doesn't rearrange my space or kick me out of my own bedroom. Revolutionary concept. As for Monica, got the final update last week. Same work connection told me she's working at a chain restaurant back in her hometown. Lives with Carol and complains on social media about how expensive everything is and how hard it is to save money. Zero mention of the real reason her life imploded. Still playing victim from what I hear. Ryan apparently moved back in with his parents after his lease ended. Guess having your ex-girlfriend's belongings dumped at your door and her showing up for help didn't work out well for him either. The locksmith bill was $320. Best money I ever spent. Haven't had to deal with a single day of drama since. Monica wanted space to figure out if she could do better than me. She figured it out. Turns out the grass isn't greener when you're sleeping in your car. She wanted Ryan to be her upgrade. He wanted late-night attention, not a homeless girlfriend. She wanted me to be her backup plan while she explored other options. I wanted a loyal partner who didn't kick me out of my own bedroom. The perfect revenge was just giving her exactly what she asked for and letting her deal with the consequences. Monica asked for space to process our relationship. She got all the space she could handle to process how badly she screwed up her life. Some lessons cost more than others. Hers cost her a free place to live, a supportive boyfriend, and her independence. That's what happens when you mistake kindness for weakness and try to play games with someone who knows their worth.